So what are the secrets to finding a safe church?
In order to obtain the whole measure of the fullness of Christ, it is imperative for you to be able to be part of a healthy and thriving church body. But how do you know if a church is healthy or not? And more importantly, how can you tell if a church is safe for you to attend? Let's start by understanding what I mean by the word safe. When people often desire to find a safe church, what they are imagining is a church that doesn't challenge any of their personal ideas or belief. And when they attend that church, their idea of safe is that they will be met with an overwhelming sense of affirmation from every person in that church. This is a real misunderstanding of what it means to call a church safe. A church body is meant to represent Jesus Christ here on earth, and that means living and acting just like Jesus Christ. This is what we call transformation. And for Christians, finding themselves in the process of experiencing transformation means that their ideas and beliefs are going to be challenged along the way as the church makes that journey together. So what it means for a church to be safe is that as you engage in this process and this journey of transformation with that church body, you are going to be safe from things like spiritual abuse. You are going to be safe from things like guilt and shame, and you are going to be safe from things like manipulation, deceit, and all kinds of other abusive behaviors. So if we're going to be able to find a church that is going to be healthy and thriving and safe to attend, we have to understand the healthy characteristics of that church. So when we see it, we can immediately identify it. So here are the healthy characteristics of a safe church. Characteristic number one is that the church has an unapologetic love for God and people. These two are inseparable. A church that truly loves God will by nature reflect that same love towards people. This love will be shown in the church's desire to help people. It'll be shown in the church's desire to serve people and to assist people in all kinds of areas of life. And this church will actually show a great desire for others to experience the same love of God in Jesus Christ that they themselves have experienced in their journey thus far. The second characteristic of a healthy church is a church that has transparency and openness. This means that its members are free to communicate and ask questions and challenge the status quo. Its leaders are always willing to have a conversation and thoughtfully address tough issues. These are there's like also clear communication and openness about different plans and intentions that the church has. So when it comes to things like church finances, when it comes to things like staff situations, they're open and clear with their communication about all the details to the rest of the church. And there is no spinning the issues or sweeping things under the rug when it comes to addressing issues. Everything is simply met with honesty and openness. Healthy characteristic number 3 is low control and high accountability. So when I talk about low control and high accountability, what I mean is in a church, this is a cultural environment where there's freedom to explore God's purpose for your life throughout the life of the church. Low control means there's freedom to discover everything about yourself and everything about God without feeling micromanaged by leadership. And so when it comes to high accountability, that means that the high accountability comes from the members of the church rather than from the church's leaders or ruling group. This type of accountability is the healthy kind of accountability, where it's not just one or two people looking over your shoulder. Rather, it is the entire culture of the group holding one another up in accountability to make sure everything is being done according to God's plan. Healthy characteristic number 4 is faithful to Christian orthodoxy. So when I use the word orthodoxy, what I really mean is right believing or believing the right things. And so a church that is faithful to Christian orthodoxy is unwavering on what it believes as Christian, or what some might call being overtly Christian. This church is clear and concise on what it believes about God. It's clear and concise about what it believes about the Bible. And it's frankly just clear and concise on how somebody should live their life in holiness. And so this church is not tossed around by a whole bunch of weird teachings, and they are very careful not to let false doctrines leak their way into a church. And finally, healthy characteristic number 5 is a church that values unity, community, and mission. When we talk about unity in a church, what we're talking about is the diversity of the body of believers working together in harmony so that each person can grow in faith and advance the mission of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And a church that values unity and community and mission, each person's uniqueness is celebrated and their talents and abilities are recognized as gifts from God to be used for a greater purpose. And this is really such a healthy characteristic in a church that if you've never had it, once you are in a church that really values unity and community and mission, you are blown away and you never realized that church life could be so good. So those are the 5 characteristics of a healthy and safe church. If you're looking for a church to attend, find a church that focuses on the spiritual growth and development of your soul. Thanks so much. We'll see you again soon.